did we overrate Racing Point based on what they were able to do in Austria?
I'm leaning towards yes. But I don't want to take out the possibility that they're just making the wrong calls also. It's just the inexperience. And I think that maybe you can say that the protests have taken a toll on them as well.
Yeah.
You know, it could be so many things, but we know the car is fast because at one point, I think during the race, Nico Hülkenberg was actually lapping just as fast as the Mercedes. Yeah. But I don't know what to tell you. It's just we expect so much from them, especially at a track like this, and they haven't been able to bring home the results.
I don't think so. I think we are the ones that are expecting so much because of that's the news that they keep feeding us. Oh, we could do even better. Oh, you guys are challenging. Oh, we could do better. If they would just stay quiet, fight out their, what's going on in the backfield, in the back of the back with them within themselves and the other teams, they probably would be, right where they are, or maybe a little below, and we will be happy because they're still making a ton of improvement compared to where they were last year.
It's very similar to what McLaren and Alonso were doing in 2017 and 2018.
Yeah, but they were in the back of the pack.
I know they were in the back of the pack. What they were saying is that they had their chassis was very good, and they're gonna be making progress when they never did. I mean, it's a different situation, but what I'm trying to tell you is what I think what you're trying to get at is that they're giving themselves these expectations, and then we're expecting it from them.
Yes,
and then when they don't get it, it's like, what the hell's going on?
I don't think they're giving themselves that expectation, and here's why. They did well in Austria. They looked great in Hungary. So we come into Silverstone, and what happens? Their number one driver, their veteran, the guy that helps them set up the car, goes out. Fine. Last week was a lost week for them. Hülkenberg, off his couch, off of eating, tres leche cake, jumps on a plane and is able to join them.
Say that again. What he was eating?
Tres leche.
So, no, but I mean, that wasn't Hülkenberg's fault. That was just the team.
I get it, but then you lose the ability. Like, Perez knows the car. He knows how to set it up. He knows what's wrong with it. What they've done throughout the years and throughout this whole COVID thing to be able to get it to where it is now. Then you come into this past weekend. Let's not forget, Hülkenberg qualified third ahead of Max.
Mm-hmm.
So the car is plenty fast. I think that they just need to, if Hülkenberg had a whole season in the car, you'd see him squeeze more performance out of it and potentially get a podium. If Perez was in the other seat and not Lance Stroll, he probably would have been fourth. He would not have been on the podium because we saw what happened during the race. But I think that this is just the issues that have been surrounding them with the diseases and stuff has just affected their ability to produce results.
Yeah, but wouldn't you also take into account the fact that they couldn't get the car started?
But guess what? That was a Mercedes bolt that sheared off.
Yes. Well, but that doesn't matter. You still got to get the car started. You're the mechanics. They couldn't get the car started. I don't know what. They said that the tires were going, and that seemed to be a theme all across the F1 paddock as far as people saying that the tires were dropping off. We thought that it was, Papa Stroll calling in and saying, yo.
Well, yeah. So during the race, man, this was so upsetting. While we were watching it, we were all just like, what? The pit wall for Racing Point calls into Hülkenberg right after he goes on to, I believe he goes on to the hards.
He was on the hards.
He went to softs.
Right, yeah. But it wasn't a long stint. I don't have my data on me anymore. It wasn't a long stint. And they call him in to put him on softs. We all said, oh, that's Daddy Stroll calling in saying, this new guy can't come in and beat my son. They said after the fact, Racing Point, even on social media said, Lawrence Stroll is not the team strategist. He can't make those calls. He doesn't know what's going on. What do you think, Ruben? What do you think is going on? Is the fix in for Sonny Boy Lance, or is it something that
he sure does look like it? But today they corrected themselves. Let's believe him. Let's give him a little benefit. Let's believe him, right? Because Hulk also mentioned that he had some vibrations in the tires. That's why they brought him in.
I thought that Hulk was confused about it, to be honest.
Me too, but we're not.
But,
What would make you think that he was confused?
I thought, man, maybe I misheard the radio, the team radio, but I thought that he said that he was initially like confused as to what, or maybe it was like right after the race they were interviewing, he was confused on why they brought him back in so soon. And then later on, he was like, "Oh yeah, I did have vibrations, etc."
So he corrected himself afterwards.
That's what I. That's
Is that
what
to cover Stroll?
Maybe
no,
I'm wrong.
I don't. No, I think he said straight. From what I saw, I think he said straight up that, that he had vibrations and that he thought that he could not make it to the end of the race without changing tires, and then they put him on the softs, which was, I don't know, whatever. The softs sucked this week, and I don't know.
They did not work at any time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anytime they were used, they would not.
Maybe
work.
that's all they had left. But
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Hulk, then Albon, then Stroll at the time that they called for him to pit. I think Albon was going to pass him anyway, and it finished as Albon, Stroll, and Hulk. So,
where did Albon finish?
Albon finished.
Yhancy did not do the picture this week.
No,
Okay.
no, Albon finished. So look, Albon finished 5th, Stroll 6th, and Hulkenberg 7th.
Okay, yeah, I don't think he probably would. You're right. We wouldn't have gone. I think Albon would have gone past.
Yeah,
He was
definitely. Yeah,
Albon was a man on a mission.
Albon got on steroids to the middle of the race, and he just passed everybody.
He drank a Red Bull.
There you go.
He hydrated.
That's exactly right.
Hydrated.
And the hydration was a Red Bull.
Max phoned in. He said, "Listen, man, stay hydrated.
Press the button.
Yes,
sanitize the button and then press it."
So we saw Hulk qualify 3rd, fall down to Max, who obviously he was just a man on a mission, right? Stroll, again, where would you guys rank Stroll? As I said, he finished 6th, and then he ended up, his starting grid position was also 6th, so he just started where he finished.
He sucks. That's the ranking of it. But he did have a good start. Yhancy pointed it out right at the beginning, because I would have never, just two Pink Panthers going over each other. But Stroll really jumped.
He does that well. He does have good starts. I think when he was with Williams, he was the leading driver in making overtakes at the start of races.
Wow.
Yeah, so he has a history of doing that. He can start off well. It's just when he gets into the race, maybe it's his racecraft. You just pointed out today he's only 21. Maybe it's the youth. Listen, I don't.
It's the money.
I don't. Considering the talent that there is, right now in F1 with all these young guns, and this race really showed how good these guys are. He seems to be on the bottom of the total.
I got one for you, Yhancy. Who would you prefer to have in your car, Hulk or Stroll? Stroll has been on the podium. Hulk, no.
That doesn't matter, man. That does not matter. I'm just asking you, because you know what? Hulk has proven throughout his career that he is a consistent point scorer. Yeah. And what you need is points. Forget about one random podium that you got at a crazy race in Baku.
Oh, you remember that race? Huh?
I do. That was a great race. And he couldn't even hold second place because he should have gotten second place.
Yep.
He got pipped at the end.
He did drink from the shoey, though.
By Bottas. Yeah. I mean, it was his first podium. But I'd rather take a whole lot of points than one podium.
Go ahead, Will.
Well, yeah. In general, in life, you want consistency and not volatility, which is, you get a lot of volatility from Lance Stroll. Hey guys, this is Wellington, 1/3 of the Jump to Start Racing podcast crew. I want to remind you to destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm and to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with our latest content. I also want to let you know that we're active on both Twitter and Instagram. For both platforms, the handle is @JumpTheStartF1. And of course, you can find us on your favorite podcast platform, Jump to Start Racing Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.